It was a rainy night in New York City, the kind of night where the rain seemed to wash away the sins of the day, leaving the city in a reflective, almost melancholic state. The streets glistened under the streetlights, each raindrop creating ripples in the puddles that had formed on the uneven pavement. The streets were empty, except for the distant sound of sirens and the occasional flash of lightning in the sky. It was as if the city itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The usual hustle and bustle of New York was replaced by an eerie silence broken only by the sporadic sounds of the storm. High above the buildings, Spider-Man swung from rooftop to rooftop, chasing a signal he picked up on his police scanner, a robbery in progress at a downtown tech lab. His movements were fluid and precise, each swing propelling him closer to his destination. The rain didn't bother him, it was just another obstacle to overcome. As he arrived, he saw a familiar enemy, the Shocker, armed with a new, more powerful weapon. The sight of the villain brought a sense of urgency to Spider-Man's actions. He knew that if Shocker succeeded, the consequences could be catastrophic. Sparks flew as the villain blasted through security bots and made his way to the prototype energy core. Spider-Man landed behind him, his eyes narrowing as he assessed the situation. The lab was filled with the sounds of machinery and the crackling of energy, creating a chaotic backdrop for the impending confrontation. "Drop it, Shocker. You know how this ends." Spider-Man's voice was steady, but there was an underlying tension. He hoped that his words would be enough to make the villain reconsider, but deep down he knew it wouldn't be that easy. But Shocker didn't back down. Instead, he smirked, his confidence bolstered by his new weapon. The air was thick with anticipation, both combatants ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. He turned and fired a wave of energy, sending Spider-Man flying into a wall. The impact was jarring, but Spider-Man quickly recovered, his determination unwavering. He knew he couldn't afford to lose this fight. The fight was intense. Crashing glass, explosions, and Spidey's webs flying through the air. Each move was calculated, each strike aimed to incapacitate the other. The lab was quickly becoming a battlefield, with debris flying and equipment malfunctioning. Just when it seemed like Spider-Man would win, a scream echoed through the building. It was a sound that cut through the chaos, drawing Spider-Man's attention away from the fight. A scientist was trapped under debris, unconscious, as the lab started to collapse. The sight of the trapped scientist brought a new level of urgency to the situation. Spider-Man knew he had to act fast. Spider-Man looked at Shocker, who was escaping with the core, and then at the scientist. He had to choose. The weight of the decision was almost palpable, each second ticking by feeling like an eternity. With a heavy heart, he rushed to save the scientist, pulling her out just before the building exploded. Shocker got away. The explosion was deafening, the force of it sending shockwaves through the area. But Spider-Man's focus was on the scientist, ensuring she was safe. Later that night, on a rooftop, Peter Parker sat alone, mask off, rain mixing with tears. The weight of his decision weighed heavily on him, the night's events replaying in his mind. "I couldn't stop him," he whispered, "but I saved someone. That has to count." His voice was barely audible, the rain almost drowning out his words, but in that moment he found a small measure of solace. Because being Spider-Man isn't about being perfect, it's about making the tough choices even when the outcome isn't what you hoped for. It's about doing what's right, even when it's hard. And in that moment, Peter knew that he had done the right thing, even if it didn't feel like a victory.